the 12th Actors Panel. So give it up for the Actors Panel. So just a couple things about Phil I'm Creative. We work with artists, writers, directors, actors, people in media, people in entertainment, anybody who wants to help uplift our community, Filipino, Asian, American, etc. So we're happy to work with anyone. This is a DIY type of organization, so if you've got a wonderful event that you'd like to put on for the community, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love for you to come and help us volunteer to put these great programs together. We do approximately 15 programs a year, sometimes more, sometimes less, and we can't do it without the generosity of our volunteers. So if you want to learn more about us, you can go on www.philamcreative.org. That's philamcreative.org, and all our social media handles are the same.
And you have to be Filipino to join.
What's that?
You have to be Filipino to join.
You do not, Alyssa. Thank you so much for that. You can be anyone to join. We just want people who help uplift and support our community as we support all communities. So we're happy to have anybody come and join. Thank you. Okay, so you're now bored listening to me, so I want to bring out our fabulous sponsor, or one of our members from the sponsorship team. He's going to talk a little bit about the National Association of Voice Actors. So give it up, please, from NAVA for our good friend, Tim.
Hello, good to be here. I don't need a microphone, I'll just talk nice and loud. Pleasure to be here. My name is Tim Friedlander. I'm president and founder of the National Association of Voice Actors. We were founded about 2.5 years ago on the principles of action, inclusion, education, and benefits. And we have been out in the industry, the general artistic industry, trying to promote the advancement of and the continuation of human art in this world that is quickly changing towards AI. One of the first things that we have really focused on is cultural protection and heritage in the age of AI, making sure that we as the people and the humans get to determine what our culture is and not the AI companies that are out there. One of the things that we really champion is we put together an authenticity in casting panel, guide for all casting directors on how to cast authentically. And we may think that politics is not something that affects us personally. We are a long ways from Washington, D.C. I just spent 3 days in D.C. We had 18 meetings out there discussing the fear that we have around AI and the concerns that it will take away all of our jobs. So there are 2 things I want everybody to think about. There are actually 2 bills right now that are going to affect all of us. There's one in California called AB 412, and there's one in the federal government called the No Fakes Act. And if you ever have a chance to use your voice to champion all of those, I would definitely get a chance to do that. If you would like to come talk to me, I can give you information on how to do that. AB 412 is here in California, is currently up for a vote, and the No Fakes Act is in the federal government, and we are hoping to see that come up for a vote at the end of the year. But we actually get a chance to determine what happens going forward, so please use your voices, get out there, and make some noise and make sure that we as humans get to stay a part of this this artistic and great community that we'd love to be a part of. So it's great to be here. This is our second year sponsoring this, and it's great to be back. So thank you all for being here. And have a great rest of the day.
My favorite thing about NAVA is that we actually get to affect real world change.
So NAVA heard my story and sent me to One Voice Dallas on a scholarship, which I'm so grateful for.
Thank you, NAVA, for all that you do for the voiceover community, particularly for me as an individual. I was able to attend the One Voice conference because of the scholarship that you provided, and in doing so, able to share so much information with the community that I lead.
NAVA has hosted 40 classes this year, and all of them have been free or pay what you can.
You are the only reason that we've been able to move forward in our legal efforts to try to help these people. So truly, you guys all do the most, and it's just wild. You're the best. Thank you so much.
One of the things that I'm most proud of this organization for doing this year is being involved in creating the best practices handbook for casting within voiceover. NAVA worked really hard, especially Matthew, with members of QueerVox, Voices of Color, and the Disabled Voice Actors Database.
For so long, Black voices, voices of color, voices of women have not been heard. So this is our opportunity to put those voices on the forefront of your ears.
The team at NAVA sprung into action and established the Hurricane Helene Relief Fund to help the VO community and families like mine that were affected by a natural disaster.
I want to say thank you to NAVA because to me, NAVA is an opportunity to be part of a community and an organization that's about service over self and an opportunity to put the industry ahead of your own identity.
One of the many things that I love about NAVA is that it unites everybody. Union, non-union, FICOR, veteran, beginner, everybody in between. It doesn't matter where you're living, what genre of voiceover you're working in. We are all in this together, and it feels like a united front with NAVA.
We've built a really strong community and have been able to impact the industry in ways that we could never have imagined.
The people that I have met since starting NAVA and since starting my career have become like family to me. And I am so proud to be able to be in an industry with all of them and to fight for things that mutually benefit all of us.
The NAVA!
Thank you, Tim, for sponsoring this event, and as always, we do appreciate any kind of donations that we get from, our organizations as we do this for the community. And having said that, my name is Jeff Francisco, and I am your moderator today. I have been privileged to serve with Philam Creative for the last 2 years, and I have had the honor of serving the community, and it's one of the things that has really helped me have more pride in our community as a Filipino creative, and not just that, but as a Filipino American, especially during this time. I know it's been rough out there, and I understand that all of us are going through this emotional time in our lives, and the one thing that I do appreciate that Philam Creative does is to be able to create platforms like this so we could all come together and celebrate one another and celebrate the wins that we have, especially during a time when people are being separated, and here we can come together. And so I urge you all to enjoy this time in community with one another, and let's uplift and amplify these amazing guests that we have. All those people that couldn't make it today, they're missing out because we got some legends out there waiting to share their stories with us. And I am honored to be here today to be able to explore and find out more about their stories and learn about their career in voiceover, which is so fitting because in a time where our voices are being silenced, this is a time right now where we can actually show that our voices as Filipinos, as creative, is so important. And these 4 amazing individuals have proven that. So without further ado, let me bring out our panelists. We got the legendary Eric Bauza. Come on in. Give it up for Eric, guys. Following Eric, we also have the amazing, funny guy, Mr. Eugene Cordero. Come on in, guys. Pick a chair, pick a chair. Having said that, pick a chair, we also have a Pikachu in the house. Let's bring out Abby Espiritu, aka your favorite Pikachu. And last but not least, we have the queen of audiobooks. But not only that, but she is also a iconic Disney animated series Filipino Mexican character on a Disney series. We got Becca Q. Come on in, guys. We're gonna trade seats here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pass around a mic over here between you guys. So I'm gonna be here in this corner, like a creepy loner, and we're going to interrogate these amazing, legendary, talented, iconic, amazing Filipino actors, and I'm just gonna go ahead and read their bios just so that we can kind of get to know who they are. Mr. Eric Bauza is a Canadian-American voiceover actor from Scarborough, Toronto, who is known for being one of Mel Blanc's successor for Looney Tunes characters such as Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and also won 3 Emmy Awards for his performance in Looney Tunes cartoons. Give it up, guys. 3 Emmys? Are you going for 4? You go in a row. I mean, if that's not legendary, I don't know what is. He's so modest too. I love it.
Filipinos. I lived in LA too long, I think. Yeah. I go back to Canada.
Okay, right. Let me finish your bio, and then we'll talk. He also voiced Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, and he also has a series that just dropped yesterday on HBO Max. Right, the day the Earth blew up on Looney Tunes.
Oh, that's out now.
Oh, no,
that's out.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
out now. Oh, which one's your new movie?
Oh, there was another thing.
The day the Earth blew up. Looney Tunes.
There was the film, and then there was a TV show that I worked with in CBC in Canada called Stay Tuned that actually just got a home on Roku, which is insane, which is amazing. Yeah. So I got to host the show.
So he's just dropping projects.
But then also this panel's happening, which is amazing. So and thank you guys for coming out.
I mean, I hope your Instagram is blowing up right now with all of the mentions and DMs and all that stuff. But
We'll talk about social media later. But,
amazing. Give it up for Eric Bauza, guys.
Thanks.
And to my left right here, you probably have recognized him in the iconic first Filipino movie in studio made by Steven Spielberg himself. We got Mr. Eugene Cordero that you've seen on Easter Sunday. Everybody?
Yep, that's true.
But more than that, this guy has worked a ton. I feel like you're the only Filipino working actor that's not unemployed ever. Like you're always, like you never stop working. You're on everything right now. So congratulations to you.
That's in my bio?
Oh no, I stopped all of you guys. I stopped all of you guys. I mean, dude. So not only was he in Easter Sunday, but his best known work for his voiceover role as Ensign Sam Rutherford in the Paramount animated series Star Trek Lower Deck. He was a series regular on comedies Other Space, Bajillion Dollar Properties, and Tacoma FD. So if you guys seen those, definitely on that. His television appearances also include recurring roles on House of Lies, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, shout out to Vincent Rodriguez, The Good Place, Manny Jacinto, both have been guests over here as well, and Wrecked. Outside of comedy, he has been a series regular on the Disney series. It's a lot. I'm telling you guys, it's long. He has a lot going on. Loki, guys, do you know Loki? I mean, your Marvel dreams came true, so.
Yeah. I hang out in the nerd trifecta, I think. Marvel, Star Wars, Star Trek. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, what's next? I mean, there's nothing else, right?
I like Harry Potter, I think, or Doctor Who, I think. Or
Okay, yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
There you go. We're gonna
Any
have
of those.
to reboot those.
Yeah, yeah.
They like those in Hollywood, so it might happen.
They love a good reboot. They love a bad reboot.
His films include the comedy drama The Kings of Summer, the Monsterverse adventure Kong Skull Island, and of course the Clint Eastwood crime drama The Mule.
Mm-hmm.
Give it up, guys, for Eugene.
It's weird to hold a mic to just say, yep.
Yep, there you go.
Yep.
Yep. Next up, we got Abby Espiritu. Like I mentioned, she is also the voice of Pikachu. You guys can catch one right here. She's right here, guys. Come on, go catch her. Abby Espiritu is a Los Angeles-based Filipino-American voiceover actor who started voiceover after losing her job at the beginning of the pandemic. Like, what? Like, that's the complete opposite. We all like lost our jobs, and you just got rich and famous.
No. we're on the road to being rich and famous, but yeah, I pivoted.
Her net worth is like $1 million, guys. I'm just kidding. and still can't believe she became her profession. Like, that's kind of crazy.
Thank
and
you.
Congrats to you, because I think you're the only one that got a job. That. Abby's best known for her role as a fiery 8-bit creature Ajaw in worldwide video game phenomenon Genshin Impact, and for voicing the lead female protagonist Romin Kassidy in the anime Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s.
Thank you.
You guys fan of animes, right? You know, it's a thing now. She also voices everyone's favorite Pokemon, Pikachu, and the original animated series Pokemon Path to the Peak, and plays Naya in Dan Forbenmeyer's latest Disney Channel show, Hansel and Gretel. She also does video games. Eleg, also Nick. How do you pronounce it?
Eleg and Nikkei.
Eleg and Nikkei. What does that mean?
The game is called Nikkei, and then they have a bunch of characters in it. So my girl is named Eleg, short for electricity, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
And, well, like, but Japanese?
Yes.
Okay, I'm assuming. Arigatou gozaimasu. Poppy, Pokemon Master EX, Parthenia, Blankenship, Fallout 76, Go Within. Like,
Thank you.
I auditioned for Fallout, the live action, for what do you call it, a day player role, and I was like, I gotta get this.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's 2 lines.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be on that show.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get it, but you know, it's okay.
Next time.
You know, it's like the 700 rejection, right? And then you get
Yeah,
you get one.
exactly. You're just building it up.
Other credits also is anime Misayo and Rurouni Kenshin.
Yes.
Liliana.
Oh.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Kyoko, The Grim Variations, and Haruko, The First Slam Dunk. So. And lastly, if you've seen the award-winning movie about our favorite female iconic doll, can anyone guess? Barbie. She voiced Barbie, guys. No, I'm just kidding. Abby was one of the voices providing the iconic "Hi Barbie, bye Barbie." That was her voice. It was just her. It wasn't a lot of people.
Just me 100 times.
And last but not least, we have Becca Q. Ko.
Hello.
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 We were having a conversation outside. I was like, what is your ethnicity? Because Ko is not Filipino, right?
Ko is Chinese. Yes, my dad was born and raised in Manila, but his family is from China.
Oh, okay. So you're Chinoy, right?
Chinoy, exactly.
Chinoy. Becca is a queer Asian American voice actor, screen actor, singer, and theater artist. She does the trifecta, guys. As every Filipino, right? You're gonna get an EGOT. Are you trying to get? Yeah. Okay, cool. Recent audio. She's an audiobook queen, guys. She has like, I don't know how many is this. Love Can't Feed You by Cherry Lusai, Icon and Inferno and Summer and Smoke by Mary Lou. The last Karankawas by Kimberly Garza. The White Savior Does Not Save the Day by Randy Ribay. And All You Need Is Love by Tanya Guerrero. Is that it? Is there more?
There are more, but you don't have to name. I am technically here as like the audiobook person, but of the things that I've worked on, it's not like my super specialty, which is why I feel very honored and excited to be here for that, because it's really fun. But yes,
and she is a producer, writer, director. Do you do production design too?
No, but I could. If you need any help, let me know.
She's a one-stop shop, guys. On top of the fact that she is working consistently, nonstop, I guess, being a voiceover actress, doing audiobooks, but she is also the adorable voice of the spooky Filipino cousin, Lot Lot, right? In Disney animated series Primos, and the god of retribution incarnate Nemesis in the highly anticipated video game Hades 2.
Yes. Yeah.
No, yup. You're supposed to say yup.
Oh, yup.
Yep. And what's amazing about that is Primos is one of those series that is so multiracial and so current and necessary for diversity and representation that we've been looking for, and you got to play that, and a multiracial character at that. You were playing a half Filipino and you're playing a Mexipino, right?
Mexipino, yeah.
Yeah. So Menudo is Mexipino, right?
Who is? Oh wait, no, I didn't hear. What'd you say?
Menudo?
Oh, menudo!
Yeah, right? It's a Mexican and a Filipino dish.
Is,
so
Both the food and the band.
Yeah. You were absolutely right.
There's also adobo, Mexican adobo and Filipino adobo.
And tequila too. Tequila was discovered by Filipinos. It was made by Filipinos. Did you not know that?
Oh yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Okay, guys, I got the IP on that. I'm developing that project, so don't you all take it. Because we need more period pieces, right?
Yes.
But give it up for our guests. Like I said, they are legendary. We're going to do a quick lightning round for every one of you guys. One at a time. What is your biggest break and what is your biggest failure? Go!
Me?
Yeah.
My biggest break, I guess it's Lot and Primos for now, and it's amazing and I love it. And my biggest what? Failure.
Or flop.
Okay. Probably when I did a play in high school that was called That Damn Vegan. Because I took it too seriously, and so I didn't realize how much of a comedy it was until we were performing and everybody was laughing. I was like, oh, wait, okay, it's funny. And then I learned in the moment to pivot.
Are you a vegan?
No.
There you go.
That's why it was really hard for me.
She was overcompensating. All right, thank you.
Biggest triumph?
Voicing Daffy Duck in the movie.
Thank you.
Let's go.
In the movie Space Jam: A New Legacy with LeBron James.
And biggest flop,
Voicing Daffy Duck in Space Jam: A New Legacy with LeBron James.
and I only say that with jokingly. It was merchandise wise, it sold a lot of things, clothes and merch. Box office wise, remember this was the same week that LA was finally able to not wear masks in Los Angeles, and then it spiked again, and then no one. I remember though watching that movie at the theater at Universal Studios, and just seeing this, like after having, lining up for toilet paper and lockdown, like suffering, all of us suffered through that. Getting to see a whole room, like a theater full of people enjoying this film without masks, spreading germs, was nice to see. But then again, we were kind of living through this pandemic. I was able to work with LeBron for 4 sessions, and I think he knew I was from Toronto because we didn't really get along that well. And this was before he became, before he was a Laker. He was on the Cavs. He cleaned up the Raptors 2 years in a row, swept us, and when I shook his hand, I was like, "Hi, nice to meet you, LeBron." And I think he knew. Yeah, I know. It was like he's a big guy, man. He was, and I'm just a regular Filipino-sized guy. So it was like an eclipse. His handshake with mine. He's a big guy. He's a big guy, but a very friendly guy, very nice guy, family man himself. Does a lot of charity for his community, and it was. Only he could have brought these characters back the way he did. But yeah, it's tough because again, I'm a kid who grew up as Jordan as the GOAT. I think a lot of people also feel the same, possibly. But
it's a Filipino uniform.
He was having to hide all my Jordan gear from LeBron. He did notice when I wore LeBron gear, though. Like, I would leave, and he's like, "Hey, Bauza." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I don't think I didn't see you wearing my sweatshirt." Like, I had a little LeBron sweatshirt. He was like, "Focus, who's on my team?"
He would, though. He would.
Yeah. No discounts, by the way, on any. I bought everything from that franchise, full price. Nothing was given for free.
It's okay. Bugs Bunny bought it. So.
It's fine, yeah.
That's fine, Doc. It's all on Warner Brothers.
But yeah, I mean, anywho, it was a lot of fun, and I was very, very thankful for that opportunity.
All right, April.
Big break for me was, okay, so I lost my job March 2020 because of the pandemic, and then I started voice acting May 2020, and then less than a year later, I got an audition for the lead girl in the newest Yu-Gi-Oh anime, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. And I was like, this is gonna be fun, like, let's just try it. And it was the first professional voiceover role I ever booked. And it was the lead girl in this anime, 100-episode anime. And thank you. I was so convinced the first, 3 sessions that they had hired me by mistake, and I was, about to get fired any second now, and it wasn't until, recording episode 4. I was like, I think I'm safe. We're already 4 episodes in. I think we're good. So yeah, big break. And then my biggest failure, the one thing that comes to mind is a few years ago I was pinned for a TV series, and I was very excited about it, and I didn't get it, and it was fine in the moment. And then a week later I found out that I saw the girl who got it, whatever. But then they announced that the woman they had cast to play that character's mom in the TV show was Lea Salonga. And I was so sad about that. I was like, I could have been Lea Salonga's daughter. Yeah, so that's my sad.
Which show was it?
I mean, it's canceled, so it's not. I don't want to say I don't have any ill will towards anyone on the show or anything. It was just it was just very heartbreaking for me in that moment. And then I was overanalyzing the girl who they picked. I was like, oh my god, she's literally Filipino like me, and she's prettier than me, and all these things. So it's okay.
We all do that as actors,
yeah,
by the way. So we can all relate. And you know what? You're better off because you are successful right now.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I
mean. You ain't got nothing on Pikachu.
That's true. That's true.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yay!
We got to stop that self-deprecating after somebody else gets something, though, because that's pointless. It's a business. Just remember, it's a business. So, my biggest break, I don't know. I know this is going to sound insane, but I've been lucky enough that it's just rolling. Like, I feel like the biggest break for me is that there is another job. So I don't know if there's one thing necessarily than just somewhat of a career that keeps me happy. And then, so I guess, because different people will say different things of what it should be, but for me, it feels like it's all work and it's been all fun. So I can't complain about any of it. But I will say that, to answer it for my dad, I guess it would be the mule because he loved Clint Eastwood so much. So I think that was a huge thing to be with that old man, who's amazing. And, we watched a bunch of movies with him together. So it was a thing. And then biggest failure, I think, is just, I don't know, because again, it's the same as, is a failure something that I didn't get, or is a failure considered something that didn't do that well toward as far as other people?
Let's maybe do it in a way that's like, what did you feel like where you felt a little bit of a disappointment, like?
Oh, sure. I think disappointment-wise, I think I would say early on, career-wise, when I felt like I wasn't as prepared as I should have been or something like that. I think that's one of those things where I've left and gone like, oh man, I could have done that better. That sucks. And luckily enough, I felt that early on, so that I didn't want that to ever happen again. So I stopped that. But yeah, that feeling of like, oh man, you guys are waiting on me? Okay, this sucks, I'm sorry. And I think those moments, but I have swept that under the rug, so. Yeah.
Nothing specific though, that where you felt like that you weren't prepared or you don't remember it?
No, I think, see, this is all subjective. Like my SNL audition, you just felt like, is there something more I could have done? But comedy is subjective, so it's like, no, I don't think so. I think that was the best I could have done it at that moment. Now that I look back at what those characters and all that stuff, now, given the time, I probably could be like, oh, I could have changed this up or done this differently, but, it's done, so I don't know. Yeah.
Awesome. Give it up for Eugene, guys.
That was more of a downer of an answer than I was planning.
No, actually, and to what you said, we need to stop the self-deprecating thing that we do as actors, and that's something, I feel like we as a creative community, we try to really empower our creatives, and one of the things that I always try to talk to other creatives about is that what is for you will never miss you, right? And so you give it your all, and if it comes your way, you were the person for that job. And if it doesn't, that job was meant for someone else. And we should be happy for that and know that there's gonna be something else coming around the corner for you. So I love that you said that. And I love that you said too that, the win is to have another job, right? That we forget that sometimes it's like, hey man, you get this one job and then you want something else. And the fact that you get another job, it's like, dude, I'm
well, it also puts too much pressure on that job. It puts too much pressure on the movie or TV show for it to be it. And it's like, it's tough. That's tough. That's tough to put on you when you don't have complete control of it. Like, you can only do your voice, you can only act in your moment, and then somebody else is going to edit it, animate it, all of these things that have nothing to do with you. So that's why when shows do well, you have to applaud everybody that worked on it. When things go bad, you have to assume that everybody had a part in it, except for you. Because you did your best. And if you brought all that you could bring, and then creatively it wasn't what you thought, it wasn't what they thought it was going to be, that's somebody else's fault. That's not yours. You're like, that's the thing that I think people don't understand. It's like, no, man, you hired me to say words in one way or the other, either as an actor, and you can also see me, or as a voice. You hired me to do this. How I do it is based on my creative abilities to do it. But then it's your job to direct me to be the vision that you want. Now, if it doesn't show up that way, that's on you. It ain't on me, man. I did my job great. I did my work, and then I left. If you needed me for longer, I'm here. But when you say go home for the day, then I'm going home. And I'll work on the next thing that I'm working on. But so that's the same, which is the same as the I know I'm like talking now, but the same with these, like, we're not in competition with each other on any of this. It has nothing to do with you or me. Absolutely. It's like, man, like, good luck to you. You're not going to do it the same way that I'm going to do it.
There's no one like you.
There's no one like you. There's, even though the voice of Bugs Bunny is here, this is a different Bugs Bunny, and it should be, and it is, and it will live on in a different way. That's what it's supposed to be. We have that in our family now that he's Filipino, and we get an opportunity to enjoy that in a different way than I don't even remember, like, who was the original voice again? Mike. Amazing, of course. But it's like, nah, but Eric, bro. Like, it's a different, you have a different life for it. And it's like, so it's not a competition. It's, we gotta support the fact that things are even happening to us and for us. And at all. Yeah. That there's work to be had. So it's like, I don't know. I think ultimately you gotta be hard on yourself as far as how hard you're gonna work, but then once the work's out there, it's like, you did it.
Yeah, you're only in competition with yourself. Right?
Sure, yeah.
Because there's no one else that's going to see it from the lens that you're seeing things, or have the voice that you're coming from, or the perspective. It's originality and authenticity, and there's only one person like you, and I love that. Give it up for that, guys, because I think we need to hear more of that, because so much so in this industry, I feel like, and you've been doing this for such a long time now, how did you get started to even want to do this, and then when you got into it, that led you to that perspective of I am who I am.
With voiceovers, or just in
both, where you found your voice, or you found your individuality?
When I was in high school and stuff, I got into theater because my sister was already varsity everything at her school, and she had great grades, and I was dyslexic and terrible at school, and found just, having fun on stage and doing things like that spoke to me. And also, I couldn't read books, but I could read plays because they were broken up correctly for my brain. So I read a lot of plays in high school and got really into it, and got into watching theater and watching TV, obviously, and then pursued it because I don't know, I didn't think that I was going to be good at anything else, and didn't want to do anything else. So went and moved to New York, started doing comedy at different comedy theaters, improv, and found a kind of a fit in there, and and also at the acting school I was at and everything, and then just like put my head down, you know. But they couldn't put me in a box for a long time because I wasn't Asian enough to be Asian in the world of the industry, and I wasn't Hispanic, even though I have a Hispanic last name, and we've, you know, I mean, also my last name's that because we were colonized. Anyways, so I guess I am Spanish-ish.
Menudo.
But yes, so I don't know. So anyways, just going through all of it, I just kept going for it, and I think I just found little places that that fit for me, and I started getting roles because of the people that I was working with that thought that I was good, and I'd jump into here and jump into there and this and that and the other thing. And then when I moved to LA, I think I was doing a show at UCB, and somebody, two of the writers, I think, for this TV show called Steven Universe, were in the audience and had found somebody from my email and asked me if I would be a voice on that. And that was my first voiceover thing. And I didn't think that I was ever going to really be working in voiceovers at all. So that was the start of that. And then, you know, just submitted for stuff, and then, or people would see me in other things and want to use improv actors or whatever. So then I would get little opportunities that way and this way. And then, yeah, and then it just kind of built from there.
Nice. Now, having said that, you know, you are obviously, you've done a lot of film and TV, and that's your body of work, and then getting into voiceover and finding success in that. Do you find that there is a difference in how you execute your voice when you are voicing something versus when you are on television? Because you're still using your voice, but you're also using your whole body as your instrument. Is there do you feel like there's a similarity, or there's a difference, or a crossover?
There's some crossover. The voiceover is newer to me than the acting, so it's harder for me to feel like I can get it all in the voice. So I've gotten better at it. But you know, I've been lucky enough. Eric and I got to work on something together, and we were in the booth at the same time, and hearing him do it, I was like, oh, this is this guy's gig, man. Like, it was so fun to just like be in that space, but I think everybody approaches it different ways. And for me, it takes a second to kind of, because I'm still mentally thinking of what I would do physically, so that I'm trying to show in my voice what I would do physically, or actually do it physically as I'm voicing a character, where you know, other people are able to, like, I would be able to hear all of these inflections in his voice, and I'm like, that dude ain't moving. Meanwhile, while I'm doing it, I'm like, you know, like my hands are like sweating and stuff. This guy's just standing there and.
Specialty not to move. We call it couch potato. It's kind of strange because I feel the same way about Eugene and his ability to improvise on stage in front of a live audience. I've been on stage with this man, and I'm like, my jaws, like I gotta sweep it up off the floor when I see him perform, when someone just throws a suggestion from the audience to the stage and he creates a story along with 3 to 6 other people that are also assembling the story. And it's another form of performance and acting that I will never be able to like wrap my head around. I think I kind of agreed to do something on next week at UCB, and I'm already going to retract my involvement because I'm like, call Eugene. It's supposed to be for Canadians for Canada Day.
Oh, amazing.
At UCB, and I'm like, what did I say yes to? But yeah, it's crazy. We're going to be on Golden Axe together for Comedy Central. We play brothers. How about that? Yeah. The Bad Brothers. Anyways, back to Eugene.
That's amazing. So, like, in voiceover, what's awesome is that you guys don't have to look alike, you know, for you to be cast together. And, usually when you're on film and TV, the hardest thing is like you have to look like the person that you are going to get cast next to. And when
Pretty funny characters too. They're like these big, gruesome barbarian kind of characters. I saw the animation, by the way. Did you see it recently?
I did.
Pretty wild. And it's based off a video game that I think if you're a kid of the 90s or 80s, Golden Axe from Sega, they're turning it into a Comedy Central animated series from Titmouse.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
That's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, while we're talking about that subject of physicality versus vocal acrobatics, right? It's kind of like you can do a Whitney Houston effortless, riff, whereas someone has to actually,
looking at me.
in terms of vocal acrobatics when it comes to voiceover work, and some other people would have to do a lot of movements to get that note out.
Also, when I think about audiobooks and that you do audiobooks, I'm like, give them all to you, because I don't even read when I'm in my spare time. I only read when I'm paid to read.
Actually,
but boy, oh boy, audiobooks, that's a hard thing to do. And that is...
That's the time I read books, actually.
There it is.
I want to read so much more. I really do. I have all these books I want to read, but when I have an audiobook, I'm really reading it, Like, I have to read it first before I...
So you read books.
So I do read books.
Well, actually, let's go to that. How do you feel like audiobook voiceover work? Can you tell us, give us a little bit of that, a little bit about that world, and the difference between being a voiceover actor in an animation or imitating a specific iconic character, and now you are reading a book where you actually have to sound like you're from a book.
Yes. So, yeah, the thing with audiobooks that is really wild is, it's just like a jungle gym. It's just like a playground, and you get to decide how all of the characters sound and how much you're gonna like how hard you're gonna go in one direction or not. And obviously there may be like a tonal or a style specific thing with the book or with the director, but it's really fun to get to see, okay, you get the book ahead of time and you're like, okay, who are all these characters? I'm gonna map them out for myself. I usually do some sort of, because I'm also a theater child, there are usually questions that I'll ask myself to differentiate characters, like, what animal is this person? Is this person a cheetah?
So you mean it's actually useful? That's useful.
Yes, because it actually informs like my physicality, my breath, like what I really do. I'm very physical in the booth, which is a little bit harder when it comes to audiobooks, because usually you're like sitting and you like have a pillow on. Oh, this is a cool trick I learned. If you put a pillow over your belly, then you won't get the things, which happens so often because you're in there for like 8 hours. But wait, what was I saying?
Audiobooks and animals.
Animals, thank you. Yes. So I like to think about animals that might inspire this character, or like people that I know in my life that would be like a good base for this character, and just like go from there. I think it's really fun to get. I mean, it's like every kid's dream to get to do like accents and like be like, now I'm the dad. Like now I'm the dad. That's crazy, but like it's cool. And it's like, yes, and I am the dad. But yeah, like getting to be both the protagonist and the antagonist is really special, because it's like, there's like this face-off thing that you're doing on your own that is really powerful and feels like, just like being able to switch gears pretty quickly is its own kind of like obstacle course and like marathon, whereas like compared to any animation or video game work that I've done, we kind of go like line by line or like scene by scene. But often when I'm recording an audiobook, you just go until you stop, and then have to pick up again so that it is one seamless, fluid thing. It's like a play, but it's like 12 hours long.
And so how do you like switch back and forth and remembering that specific voice for that character and then going back into it? Like, how do you hone that technique?
Oh, so sometimes it's just there for me, and other times I have to go, wait, I need a second.
Like, oh, wrong accent.
That's the other thing that I think like is important for any kind of voice acting, to know that you can take a second. You don't need to like force something to happen if it's not there. Like if I'm like, okay, the dad's saying this, and I'm going, wait, I don't remember how he talks. Like, you know.
They play it for you,
Right. They can play you the reference. You can ask for the reference, or you can go, hold on a second. I need to stand here and just go, okay, that's how he sounds, and now I'm ready. But like knowing that you have the agency to be like, hold on, I'm the performer in the booth. I need to take a second, or I have a question, or can you play this back for me? And taking your time. That's like one of the two biggest things actually I would say that I've learned doing audiobooks. One is taking your time, because I don't think I speak quickly, but then I'm in the booth and I'm like, and I'm like, oh, I can't even keep track of what I'm reading because I'm going like faster than my brain is. So like taking your time is everything, because it will save you time.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to have to just redo things, and you're not going, wait, my eyes are here, and now they're jumping to this line, and so taking your time. And then the other thing is just like learning about your own instrument and what you need to like take care of yourself and have the stamina to be performing. Be like, oh, I need to drink water. I haven't had water all day for some reason. Or I need to keep some like lozenges in the booth with me. Or I do need to like at the lunch break do a little vocal warm up or whatever it is, so that by the time you get home, you're not just like fried and shot and dead. Because it takes a lot of energy.
Right.
It takes so much out of you to be, telling stories in this specific way. And it's important to like be like, okay, I know my own voice. This is what I need. This is how I'm going to take care of myself, and not just go, oh, I really want to make this sound, so I'm going to like kill my throat to do it. Like, no, don't do that. Don't do that, because this is your moneymaker. You got to learn how to.
Absolutely. Self-care is everything. You got to take care of your instrument, right?
Yeah.
Now, how do you keep inspired and like coming up with fresh new voices? Because like, when you're doing you can imitate, right? Which is a whole form of voiceover, and even with acting as well, right? You have to do so many different books, and do you feel the need to always try to make it a little different or come up with a new voice or a new character?
I think that the books, so most of the books that I have narrated are YA and have either like a thrillery thing going on or a comedy thing going on, and those are things that I'm already just very interested in and feel like they're like right up my alley. So if you have the opportunity to work on projects that you like really love, you're just like there. You're like, I'm just here. This is me. This is what I want and need to do. When it comes to specific vocal choices, I think, like there's a lot that comes from the book itself and from the author and like the specific genre. Wow, that was a good one. The specific genre, like, okay, so the Summer and Smoke, that's like a spy thriller and it's YA. So I go, okay, as a person who once was a young adult, well, how would I want to hear this book read to me? And then I just like start going in a direction, and if it feels right, I keep it, and if not, I'll just keep playing around with it. And then sometimes there are things that I will prep, and some things I'll just find in the booth as we've kind of gotten to a certain point. Yeah.
I love that you said that, because so often we do try to, when we are working on something that we have to please someone else, right? Like, is this good enough for them? When, you know, a lot of the things I've learned in our industry is that you got to do it for you and what is good to you, right?
Yeah.
If this sounds awesome to me, well, someone's gonna think it's awesome, right?
Yeah.
And so I like that, you know, like how would I want this book to be read to me, right? So great pointer, guys, for, you know, if you're, when you get into voiceover. Now you do all these, you're hyphenated, right? So how did you fall into voiceover? Did you train for it, or?
Yeah, yes, a little bit, kind of. So I also started in theater. I kind of just like grew up doing some community theater, and I was singing all the time and like telling stories and being characters at home, like putting on outfits and like being different characters at my family.
So you were that kid. You were that pinsan, huh?
Yeah. So there was that, and then I went to school for acting, and a lot of my favorite stuff was in the like improv, the clown stuff, the play stuff. Like I did this amazing program in Florence, Italy, that was like this commedia dell'arte program with the masks, and you're just really like, oh, everything's so physical and huge, and there are these specific archetypes that you get to embody, where like your entire body is like the mouth of the character and the mask is the eyes, or your eyes are the eyes. Sorry, I'm explaining that so weird. But yeah, like it's like you have to use your whole being to perform what this character is going through. And there's like Ritualina, who's just like constantly devastated and like in the tragedy of her life, and like having these sort of different archetypes and things to just like pull from, sort of like always kind of inform voiceover stuff for me, even if it's just like a secret to me. I'm like, something's happening back there that's like informing this character. But yeah, so I did a lot of theater, a lot of downtown experimental theater in New York. And then I took one voice acting class that was for commercials, and it was taught by Andy Roth. And he's amazing. This was in New York. And he gave me, in the span of like 5 minutes, he was like, I'm gonna give you a couple physical things to put in your toolbox and just like use them whenever you want. And they are things that I still use like to this day, where it's like, if you're listing something, you just list each thing on your finger. And like, it kind of just gives you this natural, like, it differentiates the things. Or if you're going to emphasize something, you can just go, bah, I'm emphasizing this. You just point. And like things like that. Or like smiling when your character's really happy. Instead of being like, oh, I'm so happy, I'm so excited. But like, I'm so happy, I'm so excited to be, like, it just makes you, you know, it's giving you like different entry points, so you can like go from the physical into the voice or vice versa. But I think it all kind of goes hand in hand in whatever feels best for you with the given character. But yeah, I kind of just started doing some voiceover things in New York, and it was like 3 things. And then when I moved to LA, I was like, wait, I really want and need to do more of that. Can we do that? And then my manager connected me with like the greatest agents I've ever worked with, and they so get me and champion me and get me out there, and it's great.
That's amazing. Give it up, guys. Now let's pass the mic to Abby, because I'm just so curious about in terms of voiceover and being an iconic voice, right? And you were putting your own twist into it, but also like, tell us how you even fell into that. Have you always voiced Pikachu when you were a kid? Like,
So the Pikachu thing, I mean, I have a whole story with the Pikachu thing. So I was cast in this original animated series, like you read, called Pokemon Path to the Peak, and it's an official Pokemon Company produced show. And I was cast as one of the leads in the show, and very briefly in one of the episodes, Pikachu appears, and we were recording for the show, and I had already recorded the lines for my main character, and they kept me longer at the end, and they were like, oh, and by the way, Abby's also just gonna voice Pikachu. And in the moment, because they said it so casually and hadn't told me beforehand, I just assumed like, oh, they must just like need me for Scratch or something, like a placeholder track, basically. So I was reading these lines, not nonchalantly, but like I wasn't really, it didn't occur to me in the moment that that I had the role. And I was obviously giving it my all. And they had a few notes every now and then. They were like, oh, can you just do this a little faster, maybe like a little more energetic or da-da-da. And I remember in my booth thinking to myself, like, that's a lot of notes for a Scratch track. Like, I don't know if, all right. And then it literally wasn't until the project came out and I watched the episode back and I was like, I think this might be me. And then the cast list, the credits roll at the end. I was like, oh my God, that was me. And I guess I'm glad that, like, in the moment I didn't realize or didn't ask for clarification because I think I really would have psyched myself out because obviously it's freaking Pikachu. Like, that's a huge deal. Yeah, and like, I mean, I kind of also have that with Rurouni Kenshin, which is the other show you mentioned that I'm in. I'm in the reboot of the Rurouni Kenshin anime, and when I was cast in that, I didn't grow up watching the original Rurouni Kenshin, and I didn't realize when I was cast as Misao that one, this show was a big deal and had like such a big following, and two, I didn't realize how big Misao as a character was. She essentially is one of the leads starting in season 2 and like appears in every episode, and also that. Kind of similar to the Pikachu thing, I had auditioned for Bang Zoom, which is the company that produces Rurouni Kenshin, many times, so they're familiar with me. And I just got an email randomly one day from my agent saying, oh, hey, they want you to play this character, Misao. Are you interested? I didn't audition for her or anything. And I'm like, work is work. Like, oh, absolutely, I would love to. And I didn't realize in the moment that, one, this was for a story that already had such a beloved fan base, and two, a huge character that was also had a huge fan base and was going to appear in every episode. And I'm kind of like, again, grateful that I didn't realize it because I think I would have, again, psyched myself out. So yeah, it keeps happening.
So you just automatically assume like, oh, I didn't get it.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, I had actually, specifically for Kenshin, I had auditioned for the show. I had auditioned for Kaoru, who was one of the other female leads, and I hadn't gotten that, so I had assumed, like, oh, like I probably won't be in the show, or if I am, maybe it'll be like a bit part. So yeah, I didn't know there was another opportunity for me to be like a leading lady in that project.
So Pikachu is such a unique sounding voice.
Yes. Yes.
For you, like, how, like, you get an audition and they tell you got to sound like this, like little creature.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to some people that might be very intimidating, right? Like, how do I make this sound, right?
Yeah.
Like, is that something that you've always like had confidence in doing, and you just always did it like?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I also grew up as a theater kid, and I would just imitate or repeat back things I saw on TV or in cartoons or whatever, and just run around the house like screaming things. So I guess it's not surprising that I ended up in this career. And yeah, like, of course I grew up watching Pokemon and imitating like the Pika Pikas, like running around the house.
Can you give us a sample?
I mean, Pika Pika, like, whatever. So it's funny though, when I like officially started like voiceover training and realizing, oh, I could make this into a career, I very much in my head was like, I can't do creatures. I just know I can't do. I only can probably play characters whose voices are really similar to my own, or like I voice a lot of like young girls because I can pitch my voice pretty high. So when I started, I was like, okay, I'm probably gonna only play like teenage girls, young adult girls, and maybe like, young female children. And then just for fun, like when I would get auditions for like my Genshin Impact character is literally an 8-bit dragon who sounds like a bratty 10-year-old boy. I I did that for fun in like 5 minutes because I didn't think I actually realistically had a chance of this, because I was like, I have to sound like a little boy. Like, I don't know if I can sound realistically like a little boy. And it was so funny because I remember spending so much time on all these other Genshin Impact auditions for these like female characters who fit into the archetype I had like set for myself. And then of course the one that I spent like less than 5 minutes on thinking this is just for fun. Yeah, is the one that I now have.
Isn't that crazy? The one that you usually don't care the most about or the least about is just the one that you actually get because you didn't care. You just did it anyway, right?
And like we were saying earlier, like what's meant for you, like won't pass you by. So like clearly that was meant to be. And now I'm always like I gotta at least try everything, even if I don't think even if I'm like, I don't know if I'll get this, like I have to at least try.
There you go, guys. You gotta at least try.
Yeah.
Awesome. Give it up, guys, for Abby. And now that's your moneymaker. You are now preachers.
I know, it keeps happening.
Hey, keep on doing it, right?
Yeah.
Whatever pays the bills.
Exactly.
Let's go to Mr. Eric Bauza.
You guys still here? You with us? You guys having a good time?
You guys enjoying this?
Yeah,
He's learning a lot.
Give it up for yourselves for being here. Thank you. Or else we would be doing this anyways if you guys weren't here. We'd be alone. I'm so glad there's an audience.
So, like what Eugene said, you are stepping into a very iconic voice.
That's right, John.
Right.
I'm trying to convince Warner Brothers to animate bugs with lumpia instead of a carrot.
And they said, "What's lumpia?" And I'm like, "Okay."
That actually was one of my questions. If there's anything that you would want to add to Looney Tunes that's Filipino, what would it be? You just answered
it. Oh my gosh! I mean, put an apple in chanelas on characters. Yeah.
Actually, what word? What Tagalog word would you want to use?
I don't know, man. There's a whole variety. Only the swear ones I know. Only the bad ones. Just to put an apple in Porky's mouth, finally.
We'll call him Larry Lechon.
Or my friend Russell Peters, Indian comic from Toronto, called him
Barry Baboy.
Yeah. All these names for, I always say you are what you eat. Yeah. You are who you play what you eat. Yeah.
So, for me, I don't know about you guys, but having to step into those shoes or bunny feet, whatever it is, could be daunting, and it could be very intimidating to someone. And you must. How did you feel when you found out that you got the job?
Probably the same as these guys and anyone in the audience that's a performer. It's like you grow up with these characters, you run around the house. I think my parents thought I was possessed for sure. We have to get the holy water and the priest. Because it sounded like there were 6 people in my room, but I was by myself. It's probably scary. And but now they're like, okay, he's fine. He's not different. He found his people, yeah.
And he's making money. So.
Yeah, hey, I finally got all the money back that I spent. I forced my parents to buy. Like, I would have these silly shirts even if I weren't the voices of the characters. But, I remember visiting Toronto, or from LA from Toronto the first time, forcing my uncle, who's no longer with us, to go to Hanna-Barbera. They used to actually show Powerpuff Girls. I know we have one of the Partible brothers here.
Leo.
Van, his brother, created Johnny Bravo, and I remember watching that cartoon. And at the end of that cartoon, they would always show, the address of Hanna-Barbera, which was like what? It was like 325 Cahuenga Boulevard. And I was like, Cahuenga? What's a Cahuenga Boulevard? And finally, I got to visit here, and I got to see Hanna-Barbera, where they made the Flintstones and later on Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo. Now it's like a 24-hour fitness. Unfortunately, they tore it down.
Yep.
They kept some of the portions of it as condos, but it was just very interesting growing up imitating and listening to these characters as we have, you know, in our past, and not ever thinking that you'd be a part of the legacy of the character, because I'm only the 6th person to voice Bugs in 95 years. 95 years. And in my career doing voiceover, I've only ever auditioned for Bugs twice in 10 years. So I auditioned for Bugs once, didn't get it.
But I got Marvin the Martian. Isn't that lovely? The alien.
I am also an illegal alien from Canada, so I can relate. Those Filipino Canadians, they're coming here, taking all the jobs. We got to stop them. We're going to build a fence around Canada. Going to make them pay for it. But I shouldn't.
Please tell me you put that content out there, because that's
trust me, I shouldn't do the voice until my green card gets approved. ICE is outside. But
just tell them it's Marvin the Martian.
Yeah,
they'll leave you alone.
I'm a Looney Tune. So yeah, Marvin I've been voicing for 15 years, and then like literally 10 years had passed, and they made another version of Looney Tunes where I auditioned for Bugs, Daffy, and Tweety, and ended up booking it. But even when I booked it on that series, the same time Space Jam was happening, I too was only told during the production of Space Jam that it was only scratch. Like we get that a lot. We as performers, not just voiceover, but even sometimes in a role, it's like, okay, you know, we're gonna temp this out or whatever, and maybe if you're good, we'll throw you another role or something. But I didn't book Bugs for the Space Jam movie. I only ended up doing Daffy, Porky, Foghorn, Elmer, and and who else? There only 5 other characters. But it was, you know, we are as performers don't get to pick and choose the roles we get, right? Like we were talking about disappointment earlier. I remember in 2012 Nickelodeon rebooted Ninja Turtles, and I was called back for one of the brothers. I think I was reading for Donatello, didn't get it. And then like they cast the 4 Ninja Turtles, and then one of the kids dropped out, and then they asked me to be Raph.
My favorite.
So so I was so excited to book Raphael. I was telling my family back home, everyone, which is something I shouldn't have done until you see your name go up that screen.
Wow.
And then of course I was switched out last minute for this young actor named Sean Astin.
Screw that guy.
You know, I don't know of Sean Astin. I heard he's got a chance for one of the Hobbits. If you're gonna get Hobbited by anyone, I guess it's gonna be.
I mean, did he win an Emmy award for it though?
I don't know, maybe. But it's Sean Astin, and we ended up being friends. But the great thing about that was, having met the people that were the showrunners, they're like, there's a new character named Tiger Claw that we've never seen. Would you like to I'm like, how often does that happen? Like, would you like to voice this character? I was like, yeah.
Like a straight offer?
Yeah, he ended up being, we all know Bebop and Rocksteady as those henchmen that could never get the job done for Shredder. This character, Tiger Claw, comes along, and he actually like murders people on the show. I'm like, what is this? Is this after The Sopranos? Like, where does this air? Is this for children? Yeah, it was a very risque show for Nickelodeon, but yeah, it's like, yeah, the roles that you get that you're meant for come to you eventually. But yeah, with Looney Tunes, it's weird because with reading, the difference of the audiobooks, you're free to explore and roam, whereas I'm so specific when it comes to voices and impressions that I have to be like reined in to something specific, like sounding like Bugs or Daffy or whoever.
Like imitationist.
Yeah.
Professional imitationist, right? So you are a lifelong fan since you were a kid, just that was your practice, right? You were already doing it. It was in your body, and you were just already, kind of like a kid with a karaoke mic. They just know how to sing.
But also, it is a kid with a karaoke mic. Most of the time, kids just sound like kids doing voices, and it might not be what it's supposed to be. But if I was getting laughs, then I knew that I was doing something right. And that only happened in high school. When I was imitating teachers, which I know my son's here, don't imitate your teachers, because then you'll get in trouble like I did. But the reward was, if I could get my work done in class and not distract anybody, that I could do the announcements over the PA system for the whole school the next day. So then I was doing like, not just impressions of Looney Tunes. I was like, woo, Marge, there's French fries in the cafeteria.
Oh, Homer, that's bad for your cholesterol.
Like I would do like Marge and Homer and Beavis and Butthead. And then the same reaction. I would leave the office and I'd go back to class and whoever was in the hall would be like, was that you? And I'd be like, yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm the nerd that does voices. And that was kind of like what fueled the fire, I think.
So you've known your calling for a very very long time.
But I, unlike these fine established actors, did not go to school for performing arts. I went to school for broadcasting. So in Toronto, I went to school for setting up lights and setting up microphones and like operating radio station, like disc jockey stuff and filmmaking. And I never thought that. Like I actually came here with my first visa as like an animator. Like I used to draw. Like that's how I got into it.
You were a production assistant on a
anything and everything. Yeah, I was. What was I? I worked on Jennifer Lopez Angel Eyes. She was a Chicago cop. I was a security guard. My jacket should have said insecurity. Because like I'm like, who's gonna keep me safe? If I can keep Jennifer safe, but what about me? I'm like the worst security guard. I told everyone all the combinations, and it's like I have to go to the bathroom. Can you watch this for me? I'll be right back. Put this jacket on. It's like, yeah, I'm so happy to be a voiceover artist. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Give it up, guys, for Eric Bauza. Oh man, it's amazing to hear because it's one question is how do you feel being Filipino to have stepped into this iconic?
It's hard because I'm trying to convince Filipinos that I'm Filipino. That's why I'm here today, is to finally prove that I'm Filipino. I always think I was adopted, man. You see my brother, my mom, my dad. I don't look like anything like them. But it feels, and also like same thing with Pikachu, right? It doesn't necessarily, in these situations, it might not necessarily matter who's behind the mic. That is actually just if you sound like that character, if you could pull off that character. But to know that at the end of like the history books, at least in my case with Bugs Bunny, that there's it's like 5 white guys and a Filipino guy. It's like the like 5 white guys and the kid from Up. Is that the like if Russell is at the end of that, that's kind of cool, And if it inspires kids that either share our ethnicity or not, or if you're just like shy to use your voice because of something that's holding you back, and there's if that story, if you visually, if there's like something that inspires you, that there's something different about that person there that inspires you to continue on your journey in performing or whatever it is you love, then I'm glad that if I was there to help, then I'm glad to help. But yeah, I'm just
worried about not being canceled for not being a real rabbit.
Yeah. Like he might be Filipino, but he's not a rabbit. Get him! Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about. Here you go. This is what happened on the SAG after a strike. Someone gave me a megaphone outside of Warner Brothers, and I was using the voices, yelling at
David Zaslav! I know you can hear me!
I was like, I am going to get fired.
I don't think you could ever get fired. Give it up, guys, for Eric Bauza. Now, Eugene, I'm going to go back to you because you had an interesting booking where you were a cameo on a series, right? And it became a recurring role. Does that normally happen to you, where you just get a cameo and then all of a sudden they extend?
Wait, what was this?
Hunter KE5.
Oh, well, that was the first season of Loki. The Casey character was already a regular on the show, but at the end of the series, if you watch season 1, Loki comes back, and it's a different universe because there's multiverse. Sorry to ruin every TV show that's out right now. Sorry, it's a multiverse. It's everybody's doing it. So, but at the end of it, I play a different character in it because when he comes back, it's a different universe. So that guy doesn't come back. So, but there have been roles that I've had that have been like a one episode, thing, and then have come back for multiple other episodes, and that feels awesome.
So what do you feel like lends to actually getting extended? And is it, what would you say for actors, or suggest for actors when you do show up for this one thing that could potentially get you more episodes just for a specific thing that you do?
What do I do specifically? I pride myself on how prepared I am. I work really hard, and I do all of my work but ahead of time so that when I get there, I'm done and then ready for notes. And I think, and then once I'm there, I'm excited to be there. Like it's a job. It's the job that I want. So, and it's the only job I do. When people ask me, "Oh, do you hyphenate? Are you a director? Are you anything?" I'm like, "No, man. I'm an actor. I am an actor. That's all I want to do. I don't want to, oh, do you write your own?" No, I answered your question. I am an actor. That's what I'm doing here, and that's what I want to do here. So if in that world they want me to improvise or play a little bit, like that's within my world. I'm fine with that. But I am here to do that specific job, so I'm prepped for that job, and I go in. I'm excited to be there. I do it. I do it to the best of my ability, and then I go. And I don't have an ego about it because I know that it's a insane business. And then and I'm also not a person that if the director's like, "Oh, do you want to do one more?" I'm like, "Do you need me to do one more? If you don't, I've had a blast. If you couldn't tell, I'm happy. So if you're happy, let's not waste this time. I don't need another thing. I've done all of it." So I'm happy that we can move on. I've also been lucky enough on that same Clint Eastwood movie, had the opportunity of feeling the pressure of the other side of that, where you only do have one take. It is notorious or it's known on a Clint Eastwood set that you have to do all of your work beforehand. You do not. You don't have time to play. You go in, the DP and the first AD tell you where you're standing and tell you where the camera is, and then you just do the scene. And that's it. And there's no rehearsal with the other actors, really. It's just kind of you do it. And it is one of those moments where the first thing you do, you just walk in, and he goes, "Hey, do you know what you're doing?" And you're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "The camera's going to be right there." And they're like, "Okay, great. You have this much space to do this." I'm like, "Okay." And they're like, "Are you ready to bring the boss in?" I'm like, "Sure." And so then they put Clint Eastwood's chair right next to the camera, so the camera's right here, and he's sitting there. And then he just goes, "Are you ready?" And you're like, yeah. And he goes, "Whenever you're ready." And whenever you're ready means action. So he's already rolling, and then you just do it. And then and he goes, "Good." And then he gets up, and then you move, and then they change the shot, and then you do it again, and everybody on that set knows that's how it happens, and you have to do it, and it's exciting because it's just like, well, this is it.
Well, what if you fuck up?
Then you didn't do your job. I mean, like if you flub a line, if they get it, you still know that it's like that's okay. But if your performance is off, if you're not doing it consistently, like there's going to be another angle. So you know there's a two shot. So or whatever you can play in the wide, And then once they get into close-ups, into singles or into the closer shots, that's when you know that whatever they like the best is what they want in that moment. So then you consistently bring that. And don't mess it up, yeah.
Awesome, guys. Give it up for Eugene, guys. So, that was a lot of great information, guys. Appreciate you guys sharing your stories. Now, I just kind of wanted to go around before we do the Q&A, because I want to give the audience a chance to also ask questions. But for all of you guys, you know, as collectively, what would you say is the difference now compared to when you guys started auditioning and breaking into the business, and how, you know, getting an agent for those who do want to break into voiceover work? How is it different now in 2025? And, you know, not to mention the fact that there's also now AI, right? And we could get into that as well if you want to. But how is it different now? Or is it still the same? And is it, you know, do you just record something and then try to send to an agent? Or do you, you know, like just transition into it? From your experience.
Okay.
And just, you know, really just an advice for anyone now that's pursuing it, and how, you know, from your experience, because you've seen it, you know, change, and you're probably more informed than any of us are, but.
So, the business.
You could always pass a mic to me.
The business. Well, okay. So, if you want to do voice acting, I think the one thing that I'm going to answer one of your questions with this answer. I know I am. Just like following your gut and your instincts, and just using your voice, and like Abby shared, you might surprise yourself and or surprise people you're auditioning for, and then they cast you in it. Okay, now I'm gonna say something else, which is I don't know if I have the answers to any of these questions, but I think like I was having a conversation with Abby just before this, and like industry-wise, I guess bigger picture industry-wise, not just voiceover, well, maybe this can pertain to voiceover, but I think like a while ago, at least when I was like graduating college, everything was about like, what box do you fit into and what is your type? And people just trying to like slap a label or two on you and be like, well, that's what you do.
Typecast.
Typecast. And I think that luckily and beautifully, things have evolved, and now people are so much more interested in who are you actually? What do you like? And what does your natural speaking voice sound like? And how do you carry yourself? And people want to see you bring all of that, all of your unique individuality to whatever it is you're doing. And I think, like, I mean, that's how, like, these two amazing actors, like, you know, you brought your individual, unique life to these pre-existing characters, and that's something that makes it special. Because, yeah, I think that's an important thing for any sort of performance, is just like knowing that you can bring your full self to something, and that's what people want you there for. And then as far as the agent thing goes, I don't know, I think it's kind of just different depending on the individual and the agency. Like, one thing that your questions made me think of that I think is maybe interesting, if you're just starting to get into voice acting and you're wondering, do I need to pay $1 million to make a demo reel? No, you don't. Don't do it. I am really lucky because my voiceover agent, when I started working with him, I was like, hey, I've done a couple of jobs. I don't really have them like together, but I could put them in a reel. Like, what should I do? Should I go make a demo? And he said, well, because I have done on-camera work, he was like, you have a reel, and that's you speaking. So if you have you acting on camera, that is also your voice, and you can send that demo reel in as your voiceover reel. And I think people aren't so obsessed about like the technical things. They really just want to hear your voice. So there.
That was very helpful, actually.
Oh, good.
I'm going to say again, I did not go to school for the performing arts. I learned that really fast in the booth, that just because you can do silly voices, that's one thing that kind of gets you, you know, it's like, hey, that guy can do funny voices, but can you act? Can you give a grounded performance even as a cartoon rabbit? We have to care about this character from the beginning of the story all the way to the end, or else why are we sitting here watching this cartoon? I remember working on a project, and I don't even know how I booked it, because I hardly even book, like, same thing with audiobooks, same thing with commercials and video games. I'm like, you guys can all have that. You can have all the video games, I'm fine where I am. And I remember booking this video game, and it was like this flight simulator that they turned into an actual, like, me. I was like the lead pilot. I was like, there's no way I'm going to save the Earth. No way. And it was the funniest thing. I went through the job, and it was fine. And then I get a note back from that same voice director, and she told the agent that was representing me, it's like, he's a nice guy. He can do great voices, but he's an awful actor. And I was like, and you know, looking out for the representation my representation's reputation for because I went to my agency over at SBV Talent because they represent the people that I respect, that I want to, at that time, at the beginning of my career, evolve into and become like. And to hear that, it was just like, you know, like a arrow to the heart. But they didn't drop me, and they were just like, you heard them, so get better. And I did. I have 3 Emmys.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
They're made out of chocolate. There's solid gold wrapping, but the chocolate center. But it's something, I don't know, again, I had the luxury, and this is maybe something that you guys might not have in coming into, you know, post-pandemic, is that we're not always in the booth together now. Sometimes, you know, on camera, definitely, you got to be with your scene partners, you're in the scene together. Voiceover, you still have the option of recording at home. You can go in. There's shows that I'm on now that are, you know, ensemble, and it's nice to see, like, I used to go to Cartoon Network when there was a Cartoon Network, and there would be like 3 people on a microphone in a room half of this size, breathing and spitting on each other, farting at each other. But here I am in the same booth as, like, you know, Rob Paulson and Jeff Bennett, you know, Johnny Bravo and Yakko Werner, watching them do their Don Knotts impressions from Three's Company. And I'm like, I'm learning how to be better because of them. You know, Tara Strong, John DiMaggio, all of these voiceover icons that, like, again, I grew up watching, and I tell them that. I remind them of how old they are. I go, you're old, because I was a kid. I thought you might be dead by the time I got here. Thank God you're still here. They're like, who is this Filipino? What is he telling me this for? But, you know, I'm lucky in that sense. And talking about AI, you know, the real Eric is in the car. I am a robot. I don't know if you saw me eating out there, but it just kept coming out of my mouth. I was leaking things. Yeah, AI is tough. It's a tough one because it's technology that, like, all the technology we've ever had is supposed to be here to help us advance our career, make things easy for us, not terminate us, not replace us. So it really is up to whoever wields this power, right? I think Disney was just having in the middle of a lawsuit, or did they lose? I don't know. I don't know what happened there, if there's a loophole. But even the bigger companies, you know, not just us as individuals, but the companies are now kind of like, okay, like if people are out there using our intellectual property, like we have to be able to put a stop to it. And then there are other people like in animation who are using AI to, you know, save mileage on your wrist if you don't have to absolutely draw it. Like you're still in control as an artist, but it's actually there to kind of like help. But yeah, I mean, what do I know?
I'm just a duck.
I don't know if I can talk too much on how I feel the industry has changed because I've only really been a part of the professional voiceover industry for the last 4 or 5 years. But I want to answer your question in kind of a roundabout way. So growing up as a theater kid and just someone who was watching a lot of TV, consuming media, I didn't see a ton of people who looked like me on stage and on screen. And I made a promise to myself as a kid who got bitten by the theater bug, the acting bug really early, to be the representation I didn't have for myself growing up. And I grew up wanting to be a theater actor specifically, and started to get kind of disillusioned with the theater acting industry and where I, as a Filipino actor, fit in that industry growing up. So I also didn't go to school for theater. I didn't get a degree in performing. I got 2 degrees, but one of them was American Studies with a focus in Asian American representation in the media. I really was trying to figure out how, using my skills, I could help people who looked like me find ways to be successful in the arts. And the day job that I ended up losing that brought me into voiceover was a casting job. I was working in a casting office in New York City, thinking, I'll use my passion and expertise to get, more people who don't have opportunities through these casting doors, and hopefully be successful on stage and on screen. And anyway, when I lost that job and pivoted to voiceover, one of the reasons why I felt more excited and thinking to myself, I might be able to make voiceover acting a career more so than theater and on camera, was because I didn't feel limited by being Filipino, being Asian, how I look, how my height, my fit, whatever. So I think, oh my gosh, are you doing this? Are you okay? No, you're good. So I think it's really exciting if you are trying to pursue voiceover, because there's so much more freedom, and like what Becca was saying, no limitations to the types of characters you can play. And I felt like I would have a community as I was doing voiceover training and building my VO resume up, because there were other Filipino voice actors out there, like these lovely people up here, and so many others who are killing it right now in the industry. And I was like, I don't know if obviously there are so many incredible Filipino and Asian actors killing it on theater and on screen right now, but I feel like there's so many that have been killing it for so long, in voiceover specifically. So I think it's really, I think if you want to be a voiceover actor, and especially if you're here as a Filipino creative, there's room for you and there's space for you, and there are people who are going to hold your hand and help you and support you in your journey.
Amen. Amen.
The question just being how to be in the industry.
What
right
advice
now.
do you would have?
The industry is going to constantly change. I think that's okay, and that's what's ending up happening. It is great that we're seeing more of our faces and representation out there, but for yourself, you just have to say yes to every opportunity and be prepared. I've said that I feel like a lot already, and then. People say don't take no as an answer. Yes, take it. Take no as an answer and then move on. No is an answer, but you have to ask the questions. So ask the questions and then get ready for whatever answer is going to be there. And if no is the answer, then move on. It doesn't matter. It's one job, it's one agency, it's one producer you're meeting. If you email them and go like, hey, can you represent me? And they say, no, we don't like your stuff. Don't keep pursuing them. It's done. They said no, that's okay. Just move on. And I think that's the thing that was in this industry mentality before, of like, don't take no for an answer. Keep moving forward. It's like, no, take no, realize why they said no, and then move around, and wait and be prepared for somebody to say yes.
That's amazing, guys. We're going to open up for a Q&A from the audience. So if there's any of you guys that have a question for any of our amazing talent over here, Please raise your hand.
So, I'm a new mom. So, I'm so excited to bring my Puss in Boots book for my son. It's like, but I recognize you from the viral video that you had about Antonio Banderas. Anyone, Google it. It's hilarious. But you said a couple times you didn't go to school for it. You never studied performing arts, but you got better. What were like certain like logistical or just practical things that you did to get better? Because as a mom, it's harder for me to go back to school. I went to school for broadcasting as well.
Nice. Yeah. Again, congrats on being a new mom. That's tough. And still wanting to pursue this, which is hard. I hope you have a good support, team, family with you here. When I became a dad, all my family is still back in Toronto. I don't know why Filipinos like the snow. It's kind of weird if you ask me. Luckily, I had two of my mom's brothers out here. Two of my uncles. One passed away 3 years ago, but he was the guy. He was the guy that always told me. He's like, "This is what you're going to do. I swear." I'm like, okay, what if it's not? What if I want to do something different? But he would send me paper clippings of Little Mermaid breaks box office records. He from LA Times. I still have a scrapbook of all the LA Times articles, and it was truly an inspiration. And it was always something that just kept driving me forward. And I think as far as the switch that turned, it was kind of a funny thing for her to say, but Andrea Romano was the first Emmy nomination as I'm the voice match for Puss in Boots for Antonio Banderas. When Antonio is too busy being Antonio, they call me. And that is what I do. Fear me if you dare. Yeah, so I do the voice match for Antonio. If you go to Universal in Orlando, I'm the one that goes, the little voice room is this way. Yeah, I tell you where all the restrooms are in Shrek's cottage. Hold your pee-pee, it is this way. Yeah, I'm the one. It's kind of weird, but whatever puts gas in the tank, you have to do it. Say yes to restroom restroom instructions from Antonio. But it was just really observing the people around me and just working with them. And again, I was lucky enough to have that, find other actors that might want to run scenes and get better. What I actually ended up doing too at the very beginning of my career was going to third-year students at UCLA and USC to offer my voice in their third-year thesis films. There would be so many times where I got paid in granola bars and apples because that's all the student can afford. But at the same time, I was getting experience actually working with animation directors that were making movies and films. And I remember spotting some of them out going, you're going to be my boss one day. And sure enough, years later, I would see that same young man, young lady, and I was like, I told you, we're working at Warner Brothers together, DreamWorks, and it's because of a chance that they gave me to be a bit better. And it only happens naturally in time. Andrea Romano was directing me on Puss in Boots, and she said, I don't know what happened to you, but in 2 years, a switch turned. And I was like, thank God. Because if not, I'd, be going home. But yeah, Andrea Romano, if you know that name, you should look her up. She was the voice director on Tiny Toons, Animaniacs, Freakazoid, Batman the Animated Series, Justice League, DuckTales, Ninja Turtles, all of our favorites growing up as a kid. And I take her out to sushi every January, She lives right around the corner from me in Sherman Oaks, and yeah, I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe I get to, call you a friend. But anyways, yeah, it's just hopefully you find a group of people that you can kind of bounce, scenes off of or get practice. That's all it is, really.
That was Nicole Mashali, guys. She's also an amazing actress, director. She directed me in a movie. Comedian, opened for Dave Chappelle 8 times and for Joe Coy. So
damn.
Give it up for Nicole Mashali.
You should be up here. Where's your chair?
Anyone else in the audience would like to ask a question?
My son wants to say, can we go home now? Thanks for hanging in, buddy. Okay, you 8 Labubus.
Anyone else, guys? Oh, there you go. Mr. Juan Raimundo, amazing filmmaker as well.
Thank you. Just a lightning round question for everyone, which is if you have a role that you've been wanting to do that you have not done yet, what would be, I guess, your dream?
Batman.
Dude.
Dream role?
You haven't done before.
Oh man, too many. Like, there's too many. I'm like, I dream of roles that haven't been made yet, and I want to be that person. There's too many. There's too many. Like, you know, there's things that Eric and I were just talking about that are up and coming. It's like, that would be a dream to do that. Like, everything would be a dream. So it's like, yeah, it'd be, I don't know. It's tough, but yeah, I would love to knock off all of the rest of the nerdfectas for myself. Like I'll do like a Lord of the Rings, and I'll do a Doctor Who, and I'll do a Harry Potter. You know, just so that I can just I don't know, make more nerds cry when I see it. Yeah. Or eventually something that my son will watch. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a dream role?
You have one?
I think I have something.
I mean, you know what? I feel like I've achieved a lot of goals of my own of like, I get to say I'm in Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And all these things. I would love to be in something that, like my parents were familiar with, so they, you know what I mean? Like they know what like Pokemon and all this stuff is, but they don't care. Like what I've been telling people actually is during the pandemic, my parents got really into watching international dramas. Like they watch a lot of K-drama, J-dramas, and they always watch them dubbed. So when I was telling them like, oh my God, I'm a professional voice actor now. They're like, when are we going to hear you in Squid Game? When are we going to hear you in Alice in Borderland? When are we going to hear da 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 da? So I'm always just like, please put me in your live action English dubs of Korean dramas, because my parents will be very proud of that in a way that is not the same as Pokemon and everything else. But yeah, still trying to impress my parents, as we all are.
Of course.
Okay. I really want to be like a really old British evil lady. That's one. Also, has anyone seen the movie The Long Kiss Goodnight starring Gina Davis? If you haven't, it's incredible. Watch it. I want to make the remake. Yes. Yes. Also, we saw Gina Davis yesterday at City Walk. Sorry, not to blow up her spot. It was just mind-blowing.
Before it became illegal.
Amazing. She's at the movies. She's such a supporter of movies and indie film and stuff. She has it. Anyway, pop off. Thank you, dude. And I would like to do more creature things because that is actually who I am at my core. So and I'll stop there.
Experimental theater, right? From your experimental theater days, right?
How about you?
My dream role is my next one.
We're all
because it's been a while. Lincoln Lawyer was like 2021, so I need to replace that. But my next one is coming up, so it's right there, and it's going to film at the end of the year.
You can tell us. It's not like there's any cameras rolling here. We all signed the friend DA.
A friend of mine wrote our previous executive director, Mark Labella, who is now an amazing writer, wrote a starring role for me in his movie called Crab, about crab mentality in the Filipino community. And it is going to be produced, hopefully, by El Rey Network.
Nice.
So Robert Rodriguez. So hopefully that will get greenlit very soon. So shout out to Mark Labella. He's amazing. Yes. So give it up for your legendary voiceover Filipino actors, guys. We appreciate you guys for sharing your time, your talent, and your wisdom with us. And this will be posted on YouTube, so you guys can rewatch it, share with your friends, and we wish you the best. And please keep on inspiring all of us. Can you send us off with a little?
That's all, folks, or mabuhay.
And for you, everyone do a send up. Do a send up.
Oh, how are we gonna follow? I know, we started too high.
We should have built a real.
Hey, what is this? Let's stop self-deprecating and comparing us to other comments.
That's not self-deprecating, that's knowledge.
You're right, you're right.
Pikachu!
Hang on a second. So then I'm going to give a line that nobody knows, and then you're going to give us a line from a book?
She's gonna do her British, her old British.
We've ended in trouble, buddy. Bye.
And then, but you actually end it.
I hope you have a very spooky Saturday. Okay, now that's all, folks.
There you go.